Well, to score 80 points, come away with a victory, have Cam McGusty, a senior, Nysier Brooks, a senior, play as well as they did. I think both of them had career highs tonight. So a very nice way for our seniors to get a win at home and end that losing streak, which was obviously very disappointing.
And our first question comes from David Furones.
Hey, Coach, what was available for Nas early, the way he was able to score, and then also for Cam late, the way he kind of took over on that run once BC took the lead momentarily? Just what was really working for the two of them at those particular points?
Well, the first thing is, I'm sure you didn't know this, but Nas did not practice on Wednesday and Thursday. He against Virginia, he tore out of his shoe and hurt his Achilles, and he was getting treatments. He only did like warm-up stuff and dummy offense to get ready for this game. So it's really impressive what he was able to do. Our focus was on throwing him the ball. It was so funny on practice Wednesday. The whole practice plan was set up to throw him the ball a lot, and then he didn't practice. And we did it on Thursday, and he could only do, just like with no defense, no competition, no full court at all. But the players knew what the game plan was. They executed the game plan. They got it to him early. He was able to score and finish around the basket. We got the ball in Cam's hands. Isaiah would normally have been the player with it, but Isaiah got himself in early foul trouble. So we utilized Cam, and he was in a very, very good place mentally tonight, scoring the ball, finding the open man, making a lot of good decisions.
Our next question comes from Michelle Kaufman.
Hey, Jim, congratulations. How important is it, to going into the ACC tournament on a high note like this, the difference between winning and losing this game? Just how big of a win is it, and what was the mood like in the locker room?
Well, I can tell you, in my mind, it was a huge game. And I stress that to the players. We have struggled mightily with our roster. So few players, so many injuries, and the strain that you feel mentally when you're not winning. And yet our guys have had a great attitude, a great work ethic, and it's just so difficult to prepare when you can't really practice properly. So to me, this was a huge game. We're going to be able to go into the ACC tournament, feel a lot better about ourselves than we did this last few days. We get a win, which ends the losing streak. And we don't know who we're going to play on Tuesday. But once you go into the ACC tournament, everybody's record is the same, 0-0. So if we could somehow score 80 points again, I'd be very, very happy and be optimistic that would give us a chance to win the game.
Our next question comes from Steve Wine.
Jim, how would you assess the way the guys played down the stretch?
Well, I would say very good and very bad all at the same time. We wanted to get them in a half-court game. We wanted to take away the threes. And there was a stretch. They made a number of threes because we just didn't defend it correctly. We also fouled them way too much. We're a team that doesn't foul very often. Isaiah Wong getting into early foul trouble in the first 7 minutes. He picked up 2 fouls. We were very concerned about, him being in foul trouble for the second half. So we took him out and rested because he worked so hard. By giving him that rest, we felt like, hey, he can have maybe a much more energetic second half. But we made some free throws. We missed some, obviously. But yeah, I'm just happy we won the game. We made a lot of mistakes that you'd like to correct, but we did a lot of good things. Nas scoring the way he did around the basket. He made some good free throws. Cam McGusty scoring as well as he did. So, hopefully with a little bit of rest and a little bit of preparation, whoever we play on Tuesday will see us at our best.
We have time for a couple more questions. Next one coming from Chris Stock.
Coach, you'd mentioned that you felt like this, you just said it now about it being important, this one tonight, and you felt like the guys were going to feel that way coming into the game. Were there things early on or maybe pregame that really gave you that indication? And then throughout the game, because of the way you guys were playing, and it really sustained it throughout the game?
Actually, it was the opposite. Our shoot around today lacked a lot of energy. Now, some of it is, Zoom classes, they got schoolwork that's on their mind. But normally the shoot around is about 50 minutes. Today it was like 20. As soon as I saw the lack of energy, I just told them to eat their pregame meal and get some rest and come back with some energy tonight. So I was very concerned at 3 o'clock this afternoon of whether or not we'd be able to come with enough energy to execute the game plan and defend the 3-point shot. With the way Boston College played against us up in Boston, making 18 threes, it was just a very big concern of whether or not they would do that again. And fortunately, Elijah's defense on Jay Heath was instrumental. I think he ended up like 4 for 10. And that was a big difference.
And our final question tonight comes from David Verones.
Also, just wanted to ask about Anthony Walker because he had a great game. Obviously, overshadowed a little bit by Brooks and McGusty doing what they did on senior night, but Anthony Walker tonight.
If Anthony, what we did with Anthony Walker yesterday, I think is very, very important for his development. We sent him a 2 or 3 minute video of watching Bruce Brown play with the Brooklyn Nets. And we just told him, Bruce has a way of getting himself involved in the offense without dribbling the ball to death or trying to do too much. Bruce had 17 points in their last game in Houston. Anthony had 17 tonight. That may be a coincidence, but a lot of the stuff he did, I'm hoping he watched Bruce Brown play in the NBA and say, I can do a lot of those same things. And that's what he did. 17 points. He had 7 rebounds and a number of assists. I think 4 assists.
Hey, Cameron, first of all, congratulations. Can you just talk about, as a senior, everything you guys have been through this year, how important and what does it mean to you to come out with a win? I mean, you guys, you played with a lot of energy tonight, and what does it mean to come out with a win, especially tonight?
So a great feeling, honestly. It's been I don't know how many games it's been since we've got a win, but it's been a long time. So it definitely feels good to get a win. Definitely feels good to be able to send, our seniors out the way we did. And I definitely am proud of everybody. It has been a tough season, all the injuries that we've gone through. It's been tough, but it's brought us a bond and brought us together. And I'm just excited we went out the way we did.
Our next question comes from David Verones.
Hey, Cam, can you talk about that late push when BC kind of went on a run and then you kind of had to take over for a little bit to take the momentum back? And also just the senior night that Nysier Brooks had to put up a career high tonight.
So happy for Nas. Once he got going early, we told him we're going to get you 20. We're going to keep throwing it into you. Just keep doing what you're doing down low. So, I'm happy for Nas, like I said, to have a career high on a senior night. And what was your first question? I'm sorry.
Just to take back that late momentum when BC was on a run there.
We've been in this situation so many times this year. So this was the one we just said, hey, we can't let this one go. There's 3 minutes left. We've been here before multiple times, and this is our last one at home of the year. So it's great to finally put together I would say last 3 minute stretch and, get the win and execute.
Our next question comes from Chris Stock.
And we spoke you spoke on what this meant for the team and everything you've been through, but just you personally, can you sum up what this was like? And I know that especially the three ball, you hit some threes tonight, and they've just not been dropping the last few games. I assume tonight felt really good on a personal level and getting the win.
Yeah, it felt really good. You know, like I said, it was not too emotional. I'm not an emotional person, but of course I had some feelings coming into the game, you know, that being this possibly my last game in Wasco. So, you know, like I'm excited we went out the way we did. I did have some emotions coming into the game, but, you know, I shook those off quick once we got going. And I'm just happy my teammates were out there fighting for each other, and we got the win.
And our final question comes from Michelle Kaufman.
Cam, did you have any relatives or friends here? Was there anybody here for senior night for you?
Yes, I had my mom, my stepfather, and my little sister here. So they all had fun. You know, I'm glad. Like I said, I'm glad they got to see, you know, us go out like this as a team, and you know, individual performance. But you know, I'm glad they were able to come. This is the first game they've got to see this year. You know, COVID has changed a lot of things, so I'm glad they came.
Hey, Nas, with the scoring, especially early, I mean, what got into you there inside, just getting it going, and how did it feel to post a career high on senior night?
It felt good, but it felt even better to just break our losing streak, to be honest with you. The guys were feeding me and just was telling me just be aggressive, just try to attack the rim because of the personnel they had on the court. So I just try to do what the guys wanted me to do, and just be aggressive and just attack the rim.
Our next question comes from Michelle Kaufman.
Somebody echoing. Kevin, I think Kevin is not muted.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I was unmuted for that second.
all right. Hey, Naz, I just want to ask you if you could expound a little bit. Hello. What does it mean to you to win a game like this on senior night after all you guys have been through, the long losing streak, all the injuries this year? Just what did you feel emotionally winning this game tonight, and plus the way you played tonight, getting a career high on your final game here?
I felt very, very good, to be honest with you. I'm really just happy that we got this win going into the ACC tournament, because you know a lot of crazy things happened in March, and like I always say, I would rather win late than early. So this could be the momentum we need to get a jump into the ACC tournament and hopefully get ourselves a March Madness bid.
And our next question comes back to David Ferrones.
Hey, Nas, I also noticed your previous high was also against Boston College when you had 14 last time against them. Is there anything in particular about a matchup that you like?
I just like that the way they play defense, like they kind of leave the middle open, like during a certain like defensive set. So I just knew that if the guy was above me, I would just slip and just try to finish strong, or if I feel the pressure, just kick it out.
Any other questions for Nas? Oh, we're going to go back to Michelle Kaufman for the final question.
Now, I was just wondering if you had any guests here for senior night. Did you have any family or friends in the stands?
Yes, I did. I had my aunt Wendy, and I had my dad John. I had my dad John Mitchell. This is actually his second game being able to see me play in college, so that was happy for me.
How are you going to celebrate? Are you going to make some special dish?
Tonight is actually my aunt Wendy's birthday, so we're gonna go get some food at a restaurant and just enjoy some family time before we head off to the ACC tournament.